Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, be sure and tap on the little notification bell so you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. If you tap the little like button, we appreciate that too. Let's see what else. There's other things I need to say. Our t-shirts are going away like crazy, so we've really enjoyed that, and it seems a lot of people have liked them, which is really neat. If you're interested in a t-shirt, all you need to do is go to pacificmike.com, and that will take you to our website, and you can tap on the little t-shirt thing there. Anyway, we got to get more stuff on that website. Things have been a little rough lately. We did go to the swap meet last weekend in Long Beach, which was very cool. The weather was nice. A lot of good people out there with lots of stuff. I actually bought a couple items I was real happy with. I bought a 12-volt generator and regulator setup. Don't know if it's any good or not, but I bought it from one of my buddies there, and he gave me a really good deal on it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's an easy gamble. It's a good one. And if it isn't, I didn't lose that much. So it's like we're both good with it. Another thing I got there was, what else did I get there? Oh, I got a distributor. I got a shovelhead, generator shovelhead distributor, or circuit breaker is actually the proper term. But it's a centrifugal advance one, a stalker. And it's perfect, all original parts, really nice one. I was really happy to get that too. And I got a good deal on that. So it was a really good day. We had a good time out there.
Got to talk to a bunch of people.
We talked to a bunch of people out there. We had a really good time. It was kind of like as much of a social event as it was a swap meet. It was fun.
Tried to make a video, but that didn't work.
Yeah, Mike is saying in the background that we tried to make a video and that didn't come out too well. And that's one of the reasons we didn't get a video up this week. So anyway, we're putting one up right now. And what I wanted to show is what I've been doing here with this motor. You know, so many questions are asked about the motor, and it would be really nice if I had everything the way I wanted it so I could say, okay, here we have this perfectly finished cylinder, and we'll go from it to this new piston to this. That's not the way it is. I'm still deciding what I'm going to do here. One of the things is I've been cleaning these cylinders up a little bit, and you know, when stuff gets to be this old, hot rodders have gotten their hands on it before. And the job at relieving these valve pockets here is really very nice. Now what that is this is ground down below the surface, so the air and fuel can flow over that ledge. I'm going to put my hand right in front of the camera there, but the air and fuel will flow over this ledge to the valves. Now this one is the intake here, and it's deeper than the exhaust. Intake or exhaust normally outflows the intake, so you want to make your intake a little deeper, trying in an effort to balance it all out. Now these cylinders are both damaged. I don't know if we're going to be able to bore them the normal limit yet, or if these cylinders are going to go in to be sleeved. I really don't know yet. We're still playing with what pistons are available and all that sort of thing. Same thing with valves. I want to be able to find the kind of valves I want. These are not, Flatheads use nice big valves. These are beautiful valves. And this is a real Harley-Davidson valve. But you know, a nice racing valve that's really tulipped in here might be a nice little addition. I mean, if I'm going to buy valves anyway, you know, might as well have the go fast valves. And that brings up another point, is how much go fast you really want to put into your motor. In this case, these engines are great, big, wonderful torque monster engines. And hopping them up to make them go really fast, I've got a lot of experience with flathead Fords, which are basically the same design as far as the chambers and the valve configuration and how they work. I've got still one hot rod Ford flathead. I've had them all my life. You can do a whole lot of work to get a little gain. And that's the problem. It's like, if I'm going to put that much effort into it, how much of a gain am I going to get? Well, they run pretty well stock. Like I said, lots of torque. In other words, I wouldn't say they're not like a great drag race motor. That's not to say you can't do it, but it's to say it's not going to make as much instant power as an overhead valve setup will. Therefore, this flathead with all of its torque and gearing the motorcycle well will make it a wonderful traveling machine. It'll be more than fast enough and go all the places I want it to go, hopefully with ease. These motors are very smooth when they're up at speed. They're so smooth, it's unbelievable, and that's one of the things I was really going for here too. But I did want to show what happens when you relieve these. You get more flow. You also now have less compression because you've removed material from inside the chamber. Now, Harley-Davidson raced a K-model flathead motor in the 50s at Daytona and set some real records with it. And they had just kept cutting this and cutting this and cutting this, and they really did a beautiful pattern. I've seen other people do it, copying that pattern. And one of my friends brought me the article that was published back in the 50s, showing the proper way to get a cross pattern here. Of course, the intake being deeper, and the thing is, you've lost so much compression at that point. At high speed, it's going to flow a whole bunch more, and that's where a flathead lacks, is in flowing. But you may get down to about 4.5 to 1 compression. So you're trying to, everything is give and take, and so I'm trying to get the combination that I want. I'm thinking a little bit of work here and a little bit of work there and a nice set of cams in it and a really nice balance job. Maybe a hot ignition of some sort, like as in Magneto, and a bigger carburetor and manifold. Brings to mind my manifold. I've been kind of planning that out a bit. Here is my manifold. I think I've shown this before. This is the original intake manifold for an 1.25" Linkert 3-bolt carburetor, and we're using a much larger one here, 4-bolt for an 1.5" Linkert carburetor. And it's just a little bit of machine work to come up with exactly the combination I want there, so that it'll not only flow nicely, but it'll fit well and stay in place and all that sort of thing. Another thing I did is I've been digging up parts like crazy, and it's kind of nice. I didn't even remember that the valve lifters and the lifter blocks, they're in pretty good shape. I mean, I'm going to wash them real good, but they don't, I can't feel a bunch of wear in them. So I'm really pleased with that. So I can get those going. These are all the little things I'm trying to do to get this motor done. These cams are still ready to go over to Justin Lineweber, and I haven't taken them to him. I did finally find my other pair of ZA rods, which I'm really thrilled about. I don't know if I needed them or not, but at least when I go to the machinist, and I've done this before, and I hand the machinist a pair of rods, and I say what I want done, and he checks them out and then calls me and says they're no good. These are very difficult rods to find. There are some being reproduced today. These are genuines, they're originals, and I have 2 pair of these rods. Big, long things. So that's what I've been doing there. Then I started looking at my flywheel assemblies, and I have 2 pair of flywheels. I have one set that's been modified to a 4.5" stroke, and then I have my original 4 9/32 stroke, which means a whole lot of expense and a whole lot of work to gain let's see, 4 and 9/30 seconds, 16 to gain 7/30 seconds of an inch stroke. That's like less than a quarter of an inch. And I just don't know that I really need to do that. I think I may just very well stick with the stock Flathead 80 set of flywheels. They're an interesting pair of flywheels. For the kind of work these motors were designed to do, is these are very heavy flywheels. I think they weigh around 33 pounds. And don't quote me on that. I didn't weigh them. But here they are, and of course I've got all my shafts out here, which means, gee, I'm going to order a new shaft for this, and a new shaft for this, and a new crank pin, and I think it's going to be a real happy setup. And we'll do some really, really nice balancing on it to make it even smoother. So that's what I've been doing, and I wanted everybody to get a chance to see that stuff. And so here it is. So I'm getting into it pretty heavily now. I will be on the phone all day tomorrow, chasing down pistons and things that I really wanted to check on, get the material that I want, all that sort of thing. Maybe some racing valves. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll know by the time we talk again. So until then, we'll see you out on the road.